While I do credit that you are knowledgeable, I have to say this statement is complete and utterly false. It just sounds stupid. The reason why I say this is because if you read into the lore on Spartan B312, Dr. Halsey says, wow, he's classified as hyperlethal. There's only one other Spartan in the entire UNSC that is classified as a hyperlethal vector. Take a wild guess who that is. This comment boiled my blood so much I got up at 5 a.m. and I have to get to Spider-Man in the next town over, an hour away, at 11:30 a.m. to catch Spider-Man. And in case you need more proof, you can just pause to read this. Spartans are augmented to be specifically a more elite warrior. Yes, however, they are designated for different purposes. Most of the Spartan 3s were considered suicide squadrons, meant to be basically just thrown away. Another famous Spartan 4 is Sarah Palmer. Spartan 2s consist of people from Blue Team. As a matter of fact, if you think about it, Cortana picked Master Chief herself. Cortana had a brain fragment of Dr. Halsey. So during the events of Reach, Cortana was created and she selected Noble 6 to be her carrier. Had Master Chief died during the events of Reach, Cortana would have picked Noble 6. It only makes sense because she only wanted him to do it. I just rewatched the cutscene, but Cortana handpicked Noble 6 to be her carrier. I do recommend that you look more into the story of Noble 6 and these hyper-lethal vectors. Now on to my other comment that I made. If Noble 6 survived the events of Reach, Noble 6 would have been assigned to hunt down Master Chief and bring him back. Think about it. Not Spartan Locke, not anybody else. The only other hyper-lethal vector in the entire UNSC, it would have made sense. It would have been a more of a fair fight. Don't get me wrong, Master Chief knows what he's doing most of the time, but when the UNSC didn't think it was in his best interest, they sent a team to go get him. If Noble 6 was alive, they would have picked him. Well, yes, Noble 6 does outrank Chief in terms of ranking structure, and Chief basically is a freelance. Noble 6 still outranks him, and Chief still has to call him Sir. He even called Captain Lasky Sir when Chief rescued his ass.